Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tim, and we are going to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead, Season 2, Episode 4. It's called DUI. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. This was a rollicking good episode, Timmy.
Oh yeah,
I,
without a doubt.
Do you know what I liked about this? This was essentially, in a typical show, it's almost like a stereotypical thing where the women go off to deal with the children because they're the motherly figures, and the men go to deal with the car, right? But in this show, dealing with the children is going to kill a bunch of creepy ass demons, and
Yeah,
dealing with the car is dealing with a possessed car that's been possessed by the Book of the Dead. I like that. I like that it was like the stereotypes, but like
yeah.
turned up to extreme numbers of ridiculous proportions.
That's really funny. I didn't catch on that, but yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, nah. Solid good time. So we get Ash. Pablo ends up in the car after Ash's dad's lying there, dead, and Ash tries
He's
to.
trying to put his brain back
Yeah.
in.
Do you see an eye anywhere, Pablo? Then we see the eye at the front of the car, just like in the
Yeah.
grill. Yeah. So Pablo ends up in the car, which is good because it gives us like a main character in the car to like give us that point of view. But all the fun stuff's outside the car. It's all. I love that Ash seems to care more about the fact that his baby's been possessed than his dad just died.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, he's affected with the death of his dad, but when he sees the car, he's like, "Oh, not you, Delta. No, not my
Yeah.
baby. No." Oh.
It's funny. It almost seems more um like saddened by this than like we've seen him in like past movies with like his girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah, I know. How many Lindas have died now? And
Yeah.
this car though is dear.
Yeah.
But do you know one thing I really liked about this one actually? I felt like they were doing a lot more with the camera this episode in terms of like there's that fantastic shot is because he eventually realizes he tracks the car to this destruction derby, which is where his dad first bought the car. Funny exchange actually between him and Chip. Was it Chip? Is that Ted Remy's character's name? Or was it Chuck? Chip? I want to say Chip.
I'd have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chip sounds right, but yeah.
But that exchange where Ash is like, "Yeah, it'll be going there because that's where I first banged so and so." And then, even though Ted Ramey's drunk, he's just like, "Well, no, I thought it was because your dad bought the car there, and it was a
Yeah.
whole circle of ice thing because that's you killed him." And then,
Yeah.
so that was a good exchange. But that shot is he's walking into that destruction derby, and it's just this far away shot from the back, and we just see him walking from behind, and it's like that classic hero shot in a western where he's like
Oh
sort
yeah.
of strutting towards the door, these giant doors. And like, he's got the chainsaw in his hand, and shotguns in his back, and it just feels like this epic. Right, he's going in for a showdown, kind of feel.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
That one, and also the one where after the car's like uh, defeated, I guess is
Yeah.
the phrase I'd use. Like him and Pablo walking away, almost like the end of like Casablanca, as they're away, as they're walking away, and stuff.
And Ash is like reassuring himself that he'll be able to fix it.
Yeah, and Pablo's like, "Dude, it killed multiple teenagers and your dad. You've chainsawed through through the engine.
Yeah.
The trunk was a portal to hell. Like, really?" He's like, nothing a little loving tender care won't fix. But
Now, one of the things I really liked a lot about this episode is I feel like all the episodes, have been like pretty funny, but I don't know, something about this one actually stood out. Like I feel like maybe I had like more laughs or something, but I feel like there are like definitely like a lot of like really like memorable like
that,
jokes and stuff in it.
that's actually odd because I wouldn't. I don't really disagree with it, but I feel like
Yeah.
this might even be the least, not the least funny per se, but the one that's the least aiming for comedy. I feel like this one's more plot orientated.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot stuff going on, but just like all of the stuff with Ted Raimi, I thought was really
Oh
funny.
yeah. He of course was played completely for laughs, and it wouldn't be Evil Dead without the laughs.
Yeah, and I thought that, and then what really stuck out to me, and I mean maybe it's because we just watched it, but I feel like it might have been like maybe the hardest I've laughed in the series so far is when he's riding the Delta and he just gets like the like what would you call it, like not like a flashback, but
Oh, right, when
like
his dead dad, like you hear
Yeah.
when he was talking about the mechanical bull in the last
yeah,
episode.
he's
Yeah.
giving him the advice like you got to clench your butt cheeks, son, and then like And what I love about Ash is that I feel like a lot of comedy, like more modern comedy, is kind of played off this like awkward angle where, someone's like very like, oh, nervous and stammers and says something wrong and then backtracks and tries to correct it or something. But what I love about Ash is he says these stupid stuffs without like a hint of irony, and he totally like owns it. He never like, is kind of like, oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, he's just like screaming on the Delta, like, I'm hard, Dad, I'm hard. And
Okay, that was good. You're making a case for this being a funny episode, and another one that really stuck out to me is a simple little exchange, and again the camera work adds to it. It's when Ash and Chip are in Chip's like crappy car, and
yeah.
he's like, "Is that a chainsaw in my backseat?" And the camera
Oh,
like
yeah.
whips to Ash's face. It just whips across, and he's like, "Yeah, that's mine." And it whips back to Chips, and he's like, "What's it for?" Whips back to Ash. Ice carving. Right,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, and then it settled. It doesn't whip straight away, and he's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, is that a shotgun? Whips back to Ash. Yeah. Whips back to Chip. What's that for? Whips back
Yeah.
to Ash. In case they don't pay for the ice sculptures.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful, just like 30 seconds of like.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was a moment where it was like, this is the punchline and it's laugh out loud funny. It was just the whole thing was just really amusing just from the start.
Yeah.
So no. So yeah, it was still. I mean, I still would say that this is less played for laughs than the last few, but no, it was still like plenty funny.
Yeah.
I can't argue that there was laughs going on. I was chuckling along as I usually do. It also had one of the best car chases in cinematic
Oh,
history. Okay, I'm half joking when I say that, but like them in this crappy, dinky little car, and Ash like
Yeah.
coming out the window with a shotgun, having his feet in Chip's face, and
Yeah.
whatever else. It's just a good time. And then everything with the car and the destruction derby. Though that's oddly, that's kind of weirdly felt like a season finale, because even the girls, if we jump over to Kelly and Ruby. They actually win. I was actually concerned, not in a large way, but it's the 21st century, and we try to think about things in a more I hate to use the term PC manner, but like I was kind of worried that the girls are off on their own. Like I kind of hope they don't just fail miserably, because it'll
Oh,
feel
yeah.
kind of, even though in this show like, Ash fails miserably all the time. It's kind of the whole point of his character. But I was
Yeah.
kind of I was like, I hope they don't. I hope they actually succeed in something.
Scene.
I didn't think they were going to, solve the problem, but I thought, I hope they do kill one of them maybe, just so it was kind of a success.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they end up killing all of them. They win.
Yeah.
So fair play. Kelly has some badass moments where she just dives out the way and grabs the knife and throws it over to Ruby. And they monsters again are still pretty cool looking. So it felt like they wrapped up all the plot lines, which leads me to believe that obviously Ruby feels when the book's been thrown into the portal, and it's the book that tells Pablo to do it. So I feel like whatever's going to happen now for the rest of the season is a result of that action.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like if we didn't know that there was more episodes and stuff coming, then yeah, you could kind of say like, oh, maybe everything's kind of nicely wrapped up.
Yeah,
But
that was a short 4 episode season.
yeah, but like obviously, like we know the show's gonna continue and stuff, and knowing like the hero's luck and everything, I'm assuming that what he did is only gonna make it worse. And since it was like the book telling him to do that, it is
It feels
kind of
likely,
like
yeah.
yeah.
I want to praise this season. Actually, I think this season is better than last so far. And not that I didn't really enjoy last season, but one of the points I made last week is that last season was very. They arrive in a place in the trailer, and they deal with something, and then at the end of the episode they drive off, and it felt like it was that every episode. And
Yeah.
the plot as a result, I think the plot was the least interesting part of season 1. I loved it. I loved Ash. I loved the characters. I loved the monsters, but the plot wasn't that. It was whatever. Just kind of
Yeah.
it was a road trip. Whereas this season, I feel like they've done a really good job of making it flow better episode to episode, where it feels more serialized. And this did feel like a climatic episode. It felt like a finale. It felt like it was really dealing with everything that had built up over the last few episodes. So I want to congratulate them on making this season feel more like a story that's building as it goes, and it feels more important and more interesting as a result.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And it really, and like obviously anyone who's watching the show, or I would assume so, is pretty familiar with like Ash, but it takes a while to build up the other characters, and I feel like this season, we really get to know we've already gotten to like know everyone, so he can kind of just hit the ground running. And what I kind of like that's been doing like with these last couple episodes, and I think you mentioned it like the last podcast, but that it's kind of like setting everyone up on like their own little like journeys or missions or whatever.
Yeah,
So
they all
like
have their own thing. Because obviously Ash has
yeah,
always had his thing, but like Kelly wants to feel more important. Pablo has this whole plot where the Book of the Dead seems to be like
yeah,
linked to him now in some reason,
yeah.
and he's
I
trying
like
to
that
save
they
his soul.
yeah, I like that they kind of have like a weird relationship. Like they get in the car and the book starts talking to him. It's like
It's like, hey Pablo.
yeah,
Also, I want to point out at the end of the story, because we see the teenage girl who was in the car at the start, who was still in there from last episode. She gets let out the car at one point, and we see her like there's like one shot of her like just sort of watching things happen, like in the middle of the whole like car fight, if you want to call it that. Which, by the way, Ash like doing spin moves and with the chainsaw
yeah,
trying to hit the car was great,
yeah.
but we don't see her again. And I feel like as they were walking away in what I will call the Casablanca shot, I'm like, I actually did occur to me like that girl's still like around, like she just like over in the corner, like
Yeah.
you
I
know,
don't know.
doing something. Did she
I was
run off and I didn't notice? I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll come back up in later episodes, because I kind of thought that she might be a potential like love interest for Pablo or something.
Hmm.
Um, I thought like, oh, maybe he gets in the car, kind of saves her, and they kind of develop a thing. But also, I wouldn't put it past this show because to like not do anything with her, because I feel like
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of minor characters kind of come and go, and
Now, admittedly, this flies in the face of one of the comments we had last week where we said Ash's dad was clearly going after this blonde teenager, but
oh yeah,
the girl in the car was a teenager and Pablo is not a teenager, so
yeah, that
it'd be a
could be
bit weird
weird.
if you know.
True.
Uh, but one last point, I really I like how much of a straight talker. Like as much as I say Kelly's kind of becoming like the new like protege female Ash,
Mhm,
I do like that she's a bit more of a straight talker.
mhm,
When she's talking to Ruby in the trailer when they're getting the guns, she like Ruby mentions, "Oh, my children may already raise him," the demon.
mhm.
And she's like, every time you bring this up, you always trail off, which is really annoying, by the way. I like that. It was very like, it was almost like a meta comment about like the way they keep writing those lines of
Yeah,
dialogue. So no,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
but no, super fun episode, and it feels very much like that was ending a 4 episode arc, and maybe we'll have like now a 6 episode arc. So, which I don't mind. Like if they have like because if you think about it, 4 episodes of the show is about what a length of a movie. I mean, it's about an
Yeah,
hour 40, something like that. If you edited these 4 episodes together, especially these last two, felt like they felt like the two parts of one episode to me because
yeah,
it came back with the like you say the visions of the dad like giving the
mhm,
advice. It
yeah.
felt like that was like really linked with the last episode, as if it was all one thing.
Mhm.
So, and we even said last week that last week's felt kind of like a setup episode,
Yeah.
as if it was the first half of a story. So all
Since
comes together. So no,
yeah.
that's Ash vs Evil Dead episode 4. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Thank you very much for watching. Keep slaying demons, and we'll see you next time.